All right, hi everyone. I'm going to show you how to import some of the assets that are going to go with this 2D adventure game that we're going to make. So the first thing is once you've made your Universal 2D project, you can see here I've called it the 2D adventure demo. We're going to do the sample scene. I'm just going to kind of leave everything default for now. So when you open the project, it's going to have a camera and it's going to have this global light source. We're not going to deal with that too much right now. But the next thing is we want to add the assets from the Unity Asset Store. So if you go to the Unity Asset Store, you can also see that it's right here and you can go and it'll open up a new link. But if you've added it, you're going to go into Window and then Package Management and then Package Manager. And you're going to see that if you look at the side over here, you have your in project, which is just the stuff that comes with it. You have the registry, which are things that Unity has but aren't necessarily a part of the default editor, and then you have the assets that you have added from the store. So if everything works correctly, and sometimes it does take a bit for it to update, so just be patient if you've added it and don't see it. If it's not working and it's still saying like, oh, you don't have anything, you may have to update the computer, which has worked in the past. So just again, if that's something that happens, you can ask your teacher, but usually it works pretty well. So this one is called Unity Learn 2D Beginner Adventure. And if you go to the asset store, that's what you can search for. So what you'll do is you'll click download. It'll take a second to download. And then you'll hit import to project. And you're going to see a lot of, and I'm going to show this. I know that this will be a little bit time consuming at times, but you want to click import because we've already made a new project, so it's just going to put it into this current project. And then you'll see it'll go through a lot of steps. It'll have all of these things that say install and upgrade. I'm just going to click install upgrade. It does take a second or two. Again, just be patient. Try not to click around on anything as it compiles everything. And I'll show you one more like set that you can use as a way to import the project. Would also recommend while you're opening things and importing things that you don't have a lot of other programs running, like if you can close your internet browser or if you have like music playing, just because it tends to speed up the process. Um, there it's not always perfect, but that's what I'd recommend. So then it'll have this import Unity package. I'm going to click next, and then I'm going to click import. And after it imports it, you might see another couple of messages about it needing to like overwrite some files that are there, that type of thing. And generally, I just click yes for those. I've never really encountered an issue of it saying like, oh, this isn't going to work. If it says that you should upgrade it, I would just upgrade it, kind of like the input system that we've seen in other projects that we've done, where you can it says that you have to upgrade the input system, that type of stuff. And then once you have done that, you should see everything right here. So it's on this folder that's called Unity Technologies. And then if you wanted to play some samples, and again, we're going to build this from scratch, but you'll see that it has some like art, and you can go in and find all of the final things that have like the code. So you can look at the scripts. I mean, the scripts are here, but again, the point of this project is to build it from basic scratch and sprites and kind of get used to the animations and that type of thing. So you have your starter assets that are right here. And then again, you can see that there's animations and you have the three characters that you want to use. But if you wanted to play the samples, they're under scenes right here. And then you can play the final one. So I'll just show you one right here. Okay. And you can see like these are these seconds. And then you also have this sample here. So if I hit play, I should be able to move around. You're going to hear the music and everything. Again, this is the final sample. Okay, and there it goes. right? So that will be what the game ultimately looks like. But like I said, we are going to build this from the beginning. Now, the other thing that you may want to see is right here, which is when you go to this link, you're going to have a zip folder. And so you're going to download it. Again, I'll hit save as right here. And once you've saved it, again, you can import it. You can see like what I'm doing is updating the website. So if you hit save as, you can go in here, you can hit downloads, and then you can see that these are some other builds that I have. So I'm going to hit save like this. And if you go into this, what you should see next are, again, you'll extract all of the files. And then what you'll see, it'll look like this right here. So if you double click it, you have these starter assets. So this is a package that you can import as well. Again, to import a package into Unity, right click, you do import package, custom package. And then if you look at your downloads folder, you should see that right here. However, this is something that is on the asset store. So you can see like it's all pretty much here anyway. And it looks like there's a couple of things in there that are not, that are kind of already there, but that's how you would import the package.